Welcome. We are at the studio of Charlene Spiller, who was the creator of the Weed Project, Outlaws of the Super Bloom and Crimes We Commit in the Garden. We're going to talk to her a little bit today about her process and what the Weed Project is about.
I paint because my father painted. When we were very young, he encouraged us with crayons and later with oil paints. And we painted alongside him. He was a cartoonist and very clever man, always in the garage making things. And and I think he really enjoyed his children. He built a boat with my brother one summer, and we all went out on it. It was really quite exciting. And I was always painting and taking my paintings into school to see if anybody was interested in them. It's a way of communicating with people.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't about to build a boat, but let alone a speedboat. But my brother did, and he went on to build several other boats. So it was a good experience for him, an important one. And we often mimic our parents, to good and bad ways. So let your kids, let them paint. In 2019, we had a super bloom in Southern California that was extraordinary. And people were scrambling up the hillsides and crisscrossing. They had to, out in these canyons in Southern California, they had to bring police, traffic cops because people were just parking anywhere they wanted and creating havoc. And then the LA Times had written this wonderful story about what was up there that they were looking at. And it was basically weeds. They're weeds. The first to grow in the spring are the weeds, and the winds come and they dry out and they go down into the fields. And this is why we have to use chemicals to stop the weeds from taking a hold. And it's a tragedy. It's a real tragedy. I was just overwhelmed with the super bloom and the lawsuit that came down from San Francisco, the Monsanto lawsuit that was, I don't know, like $1 billion or something. I was fascinated by this, so I decided to do a series, and I wanted to work large. So what I did was I either got pictures or took pictures of weeds, and I would blow them up in my computer, and I would print them out, and I would print them out in black and white. So I would paint them with the background first, and then I would apply the color. And I never went back and looked again at the weed. I was working off a black and white photo. So the colors I came up with were imaginary, and the backgrounds are imaginary. And I think it's an easier way to look at them because there's that element of imagination that went into them. I didn't hold myself to their original color. And I was struggling with my health at the time. And I didn't have an audience. So the nurses that came in, I would show them the work, and they would give me their opinion. And it's sort of how I connected with them. And it was really a lovely process. And I would say, all right, I've finished with the weed project. And then the next week there would be another weed. And it just went on. So I have 13 of them, 14 of them.
You sent me a text last night that brought to my attention some kind of a sign and some spraying that happened. Tell me about that.
So Wednesday, a sign appeared at Channel Island Boulevard and Harbor, and it was warning everybody that they were going to use a very concentrated and a large amount of Roundup. And it was on the sign was posted on Nextdoor, and there was just a huge conversation going on. And people don't want this in their community, and it's being used by the Public Works Department in Oxnard. And everybody was calling the Public Works Department to try to get a hold of them to stop it. Now, I don't know if it actually was sprayed, the sign came down. The thing is, people don't want this chemical used in their backyard. And I'm hoping that the Weed Project will enlighten the people that are using it.
I wonder what we did before glyphosate and Roundup
Well, I think
existed.
that they truck farmed. Now, they don't even refer to people as farmers, they refer to them as growers. Before, they could rotate with truck farms, they would rotate crops, and they used other chemicals. But really, since World War II, we've had just a lot of chemicals coming out of the war, the Pentagon, into agriculture, and it's increased our productivity, but it also at what cost? I'm hoping that this is a teachable moment, that the community will get behind it, and that we'll get Roundup out of our community. There's no reason why we need it.
Thank you, Charlene, for having us over at your home today and sharing your beautiful paintings with us. The Museum of Ventura County will be exhibiting The Weed Project by Charlene Spiller from June 12th through August 29th of 2021. We hope to see you there.